Page 47, Celebration. This is where we get to use some of this stuff we've learned and maybe add one or two little things in there I'll talk about. Treble and bass clef, we got one sharp, so now we're in the key of G. And as far as the position goes, we're kind of moving around a little bit. So you just kind of have to take it as it comes. The left hand's going to start here, so it's in this position. And the right hand, when it comes in, it has this chord and then this chord. Oh, that'll be fun. Then 4/4 time, 4 beats in a major, quarter note. Okay. Right hand, let's get these chords. You have the F chord. They have a natural sign in front of the F. They have to have that because there's an F sharp in the key signature. If the natural sign were not there, it would be an F sharp. So it's a natural, it's an F, and then it's a G. You're coming up one key. Just come up. You should be able to move up and down one key without too much trouble. You need to be able to do that. So here. And then at the end of the line, same thing, sort of. Rest. Second line, second measure. Now, again, F natural here. Now we're coming down. Because we have this chord. I haven't had this before. It's a D, an F natural, and an A. And then a C chord. When you do that, third line, now it's quarter note. Second measure, 1. Second finger here, and then on the last measure you're coming down here, and then in the last line you got these chords again. Okay, left hand, well, is here A sharp, that. In the second line you got to come up here. Well, you have a rest at the end of the first line. During that beat you come up. Second line. A couple of times and you have a rest at the end of the line because that gives you the time to come up one key up here, and then a measure rest, and during that you come down one key, and then you measure rest, and as you're waiting for that measure to get over and you're resting diligently, you come down here. That whole note is tied to the other whole note. You're going to hold it down for 8 counts. Put the hands together. Here and here is where you're starting. So it's here. Right there, second measure. That's a dotted half note. You lift it up on the last beat, on the last chord. Then you do that. Rest. At the end of the line, both hands come up to get a rest. And during the rest, you're going to move the right hand up, or the left hand up. This is the left hand, that right hand. Whatever, it says here. Then you come up here. Then as you're playing this, you move the right hand down. And again, that chord is by itself. The left hand has a rest. Rest. Both hands have a rest. Third line, you're up here. And you're moving your hands around as the other hand is playing. Sort of how it works. You have to take it at your speed and you work at these hand movements out. Now, some of these movements you'll have to look at the keyboard, when you're going from here to here or something. But when you're only going up and down one key, you want to get to where you don't have to look at the keyboard. You can feel one key. This, you ought to be able to not look to do that, or this. Then we add the articulation. Slur. Staccato, wrist staccato. So forth. Third line, separate these slurs. Like breathing. So forth. Then we can do the dynamics. And in this case, it's going to apply to the left hand for the most part. In the third line, it's both hands. But this is... Keep these chords sort of medium loud. Keep them in the background. They're accompaniment. want to hear this all the time I'm playing that. Like so. And it's loud. You're staying pretty much loud through the whole piece. And then at the end, here, you have the arrow to get louder. Well, the left hand has always been a little softer because it's accompaniment. Here, the left hand can finally come up to loud. So it's here. But all the time you're doing this, each one is louder. All the time you're doing that, I want to hear that over it. Like so. And that's the dynamics. Speed is with spirit. That depends on how much wine I've had to drink, but it's a celebration, so just think of a party. It has to be accurate, no hesitations anywhere, and that comes first. Spirit comes later. No. Something like that. You make it yours. Don't copy me. You play at your speed and have fun with it. Again, be careful with holding these notes down the right length. Look at the last, well, any of them. Look at the last measure of the first line. That is held down until beat 4, and on beat 4 you have a rest. In the right hand you have beat 2 and beat 3 and a rest on beat 4. But the right hand is staccato. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. See, this, hold it out until beat 4. But this is done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Happens at the end of the second line. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you hold those out. Don't lift them at the same time. That's incorrect, and it's important that we get this right. So let's get that first, and later on when you get into it, if you want to interpret it, you can take the changes like that if you want to, but not right now. I'd like to play it with you very slowly to double check all the notes and stuff. Rhythm shouldn't be a problem, and as long as you're lifting up during the rest, that's important. Now, I will do the slurs and staccatos, but I won't do any dynamics, any louds or softs. So I'll give us 4 counts. Let's just play it together slowly. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest.